audit, and block leakages to achieve more funding, both at the state and national level, urging Lagos residents to trust the government and pay their taxes promptly to achieve the megacity status of the state with more infrastructural development.
And to assure Lagosians that they should trust this government, that with this government and with additional fund in its kitty, another fourth mainland bridge is possible, a Lekki International Airport is possible, and other critical infrastructure that Lagosians require from government will be made possible with adequate funds in the hand of government.
On his part, the chairman, LIRS, Ayodele Subaru, who noted that tax is the most sustainable source of revenue for funding people-oriented projects, noted that with the collaboration, tax evasion will be difficult by high-net individuals who dodge tax payment, which has been the major source of leakages for the government.
There's a huge infrastructure gap in a state like Lagos, where we have about 25 million people and the funding is quite limited. The state is really stretched. The good government of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has a lot of good plans for the state, but without the funding, it becomes difficult, not just to provide infrastructure, but also to provide qualitative services like education services, that of health, that is needed.
Earlier, after signing the MoU, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu noted that the collaboration between the federal and state governments would enable residents to hold government accountable for their taxes. Governor Sanwo-Olu also stated with the development there would be better customer satisfaction and reduced cost of revenue collection for the overall objective of improving the living standard of residents in the state.
Our government continues to raise the bar. We can do a lot more with a lot more resources. Year on year, we have 90-95% budget performance, right? So, and I know that our limiting factor always, ability to collect. And so this collaboration is really not to overtax anybody, it's not to overburden it, it's really just to widen base and for people just to do what is right and what is equitable, so that the vulnerable in our society, the people that we need to take care of, we can have enough resources to take care of them. I see this collaborative effort as a win-win.
The Minister of State, Clem Agba, and stakeholders in the revenue services witnessed the signing of the MoU. On Tuesday, Lagos State Government assured residents that 27.3% of this year's budget will be spent on completing ongoing infrastructural projects, as promised. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Sami Gubi, renewed the commitment in Alausa, Ikeja during a breakdown of this year's budget of 1.768 trillion naira, alongside his counterparts in the Ministries of Finance, Education, Health, Transportation, Works, and Infrastructure. Igube, who noted that the budget will be largely funded by funds from internally generated revenue, stated that data and intelligence would be deployed to unravel new revenue opportunities and appealed to Lagos residents to play their parts by supporting government through the prompt payment of taxes and levies.
I would like to assure you of this administration's obligation towards the completion of ongoing projects, which is the core of this year's budget of continuity. The state's continuous investment in intervention programs will also provide social support to the people of Lagos and their means of livelihood. May I also use this opportunity to make a passionate appeal to all citizens of Lagos and residents to fulfill their civic responsibilities by paying their taxes and levies as and when due.
Assuring Lagosians that the targeted increase in government revenue will not overburden them. The Commissioner for Finance, Rabiu Olowo, said Lagos State has the lowest revenue to gross domestic product ratio in the world at about 6%, describing the state's debt profile as one of the best in the country, and Africa as debt charges to revenue is less than 10% because the state had been intentional about its sustainability.
On IGR, all we want to do is to widen the tax net, not to deepen, what we collect from people. We don't have the intention of increasing taxes, but we want to make sure that those who are not paying taxes or those who are not paying enough of those taxes, or where we have slept on our rights as a government, that we wake up and we collect this money.
On her part, the Commissioner for Education, Folashade Adefisayo, noted that the budgetary allocation to her sector would be spent on consolidating on infrastructural development and innovation introduced by the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration. Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, his transportation counterpart, Frederick Oladende, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, and the Special Advisor to the Governor on Works and Infrastructure, Aramide Adeyoye, who were part of the budget breakdown, assures Lagos residents that all ongoing projects would be completed before the expiration of the present administration's tenure. It will be recalled that on January 27, Governor Sanwo-Olu signed a budget size of 1.768 trillion naira into law. On Wednesday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu approved a 50% discount in transport fees on all government-run transportation system to cushion the effects of the lingering fuel crisis and cash crunch on residents of the state. This includes the BRT, lag-ride taxis, first and last mile buses, lag ferry using the carry cards, which he promised would be more available to residents. While briefing journalists at the Lagos House Marina, Governor Sanwo-Olu also announced that food banks will be set up in specific locations across the state to be distributed to vulnerable residents through religious bodies, non-governmental organizations. Governor Sanwo-Olu appreciated residents for their resilience and commitment, as well as standing firm and demonstrating confidence in the state government's ability to protect their interests at this difficult time.
So we're going to be identifying various stakeholders, maybe using our various religious bodies, using the various, known NGOs, using the various ethnic national to be able to identify, vulnerable citizens within the communities, and this will be going out to them, from later today and tomorrow.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also commended the judiciary for restraining the Central Bank of Nigeria and the federal government from withdrawing the old Naira notes from circulation.
We believe that this will, in the next couple of days, ease out the tension. I want to commend the judiciary for this wise ruling at this very difficult time.
The governor said the ongoing reconstruction of the Buba Marwa Road, leading to a major tank farm in Ijegun-Egba, has been temporarily suspended to enable the transportation of petroleum products from the axis to filling stations, while also appealing to operators of filling stations to run a 24-hour service. Governor Sanwo-Olu appreciated all security agencies in the state for keeping the peace, while also warning mischievous individuals who may want to foment trouble. Thus, the rules of the law will be brought down upon them. On Thursday, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu expressed his confidence that the 5 million votes that the All Progressives Congress, APC, is targeting for its presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, and his running mate, Kashim Shettima, is realizable with the support of all party faithful. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this at the formal launch of Eko Onibaje 10,000 foot soldiers for Tinubu, Shettima, and Sanwo-Olu Hamzat, initiated by the Minister for Works and Housing and Director, Election Planning and Monitoring Presidential Campaign, Babatunde Fashola. Governor Sanwo-Olu tasked the foot soldiers to go out en masse to enlighten and educate party supporters on how to thumbprint properly on the ballot paper to avoid void votes.
We're talking based on what has happened, what we have seen, what development trajectory has happened in Lagos, and what political breakthrough this man has done not only for Southwest, but in the entire Nigerian nation.
The Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, urged party faithful and supporters of the party to be dedicated, committed, enlightened, and educate others on the importance of the election, describing the event as crucial to disseminating information about the electoral process. Also, the state deputy governor, Obafemi Hamzat, enjoined parents to enlighten their wards, especially youths, on the need to vote for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, who has a pedigree based on his developmental strides as a former governor of Lagos State.
This election is not about sentiments, it's about facts.
In their goodwill messages, some party faithful and leaders, including Minister of Science and Technology Olorunimbe Mamora, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State Adebisi Shoson, Senator Gbenga Shafa, took their turn to urge party faithful to go out en masse to canvass votes for the candidates of the party in the forthcoming general elections. The event, with a large turnout of people, had in attendance members of the Lagos State Executive Council, members of the State House of Assembly, other party faithful, while the coalition of political parties in Lagos State, led by its chairman, endorsed Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for a second term in office. Finally, on the program today, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured residents of the state that his administration will sustain the different social intervention programs to bring more succor to the vulnerable. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this in an interactive session on Thursday with beneficiaries of the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, in Lagos, organized by the Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment. While speaking at the event held at the Police College, Ikeja, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, Sadiya Umar Farouk, said about 11,000 households in Lagos have benefited conditional cash transfer from the NSIP as part of government's efforts to eradicate poverty in the country. The minister was represented by the Osun State focal person on NSIP, Lukman Bello, noted that about 9.4 million pupils across the country have also benefited from the school feeding program, urging beneficiaries to reciprocate the gesture by voting for the ruling party in the forthcoming general elections. And with that story, we conclude this week's edition of Lagos Update, a program that highlights the activities of the Lagos State Governor and other state events. You can listen to Lagos Traffic Radio on our website, www.trafficradio961.ng, and follow us on our various social media platforms: Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Lagos Traffic 961. You can download our app, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, from Play Store for more updates. You can also follow me on Twitter at Adeola Akindele1. Thanks to my producer, Babatunde Akinyemi, studio engineer Oyeshola Ola, with support from Raphael Jeremiel and the social media team. The executive producer is Tayo Akunle. I'm Adeola Akindele. Next week is another date. Stay blessed and stay safe.
This message is brought to you by Mike Frost. at Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM.
Obey the rules and regulations of the road for your own safety. Know the drive like say you get extra life for house. If you go, you don't go be that. But people know for see you again be that. Why you dey follow one way when you day on call and you know say you don't drink beer before? Save your life, take 'em easy. Obey traffic laws, know the rules, follow the rules. Ain't the rules to protect you. Know the rules, follow the rules. The rules to protect you. You better make you late, than make you late. Life no get back to. If you drink, don't drive. If you must drive, don't drink. Save your life, take 'em easy. Obey traffic laws.
You're listening to Lagos Traffic Radio, 96.1 FM.
Record of life. Everybody get their own lane. I beg, maintain your own lane. And if you must use the next lane, make you trafficate well. Make we for no get big gate for the road. My name now is Song, aka Mr. Songs, and the king maker be this.
Record cause I gotta pay bills. Record cause I wanna live big.
A lot of matches with some similar